Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome to this week's episode of Bets and Buds. We the Buds helping you catch the cast of bets. I am Jason Smoking Token. This is my sledgehammer brother from another mother, Bobby Light. How we doing, brother?
We're good, Jason. How you doing this week?
Oh, all good. Not as good as you, brother. We're at the halfway mark here. You did real well this last week.
I had a good week. It was my best week of the season. I haven't caught you yet.
Yeah, we're getting close there. I'm at 55%. Where are you sitting?
53% currently.
All right, now keep in mind, we're keeping track of every single bet. A lot of the shows that you watch, they may only pick 6 games. They may only pick on 7 games. They might not even cover the over-unders. We're picking every single bet from money line to spread and over-unders, and that's going to do a collective of our overall record during the course of a season. So 55, 53%, we're sitting pretty good. They're usually where the sharps are rolling.
Them over-unders are tough.
Yeah, they get a little tough.
Under 500 right now on over-unders.
You know what?
It's definitely money line carrying my percentage.
You know what? Those over-unders, if you follow the unders, that seems to be what's been the following trend for the most of the season there. And those smoking token primetime parlays, I had 2 of them hit last week, baby.
Yes,
2 of them hit last week. I had that Jacksonville game hit with Pittsburgh there. With the Titans. Yep. Derrick Henry with that anytime touchdown. Kenny Pickett went under his 213 yards passing. And I think, I forget what that other juice I had on that one was. There was another, I think it was a receiver that was going over on yards. Oh, no, it was Jalen Warren. Yep, Jalen Warren only needed over 20.5 yards rushing. He rushed for like 89, so he killed that one. That was a nice little smooth sailing one.
That was a nice one. What was your other one?
My other one was that Bills-Bengals game. The Bills-Bengals. I had the Bills actually cover that one at 1.5.
That's right.
I had T. Higgins need to go over 51.5 yards receiving, and Stephon Diggs always coming through with that anytime touchdowns. If all else fails, they look for Diggs. I had 2 that week, baby. Popped off for a cool $1,500 pop off about $200 worth of bets. Lovely. Doesn't get much better than that. That's what I mean when I say hitting those every man bets. But needless to say, let's dive into this week's action, Bobby. All right, so we got an ugly game to start this week off. We're at the Panthers-Bears. What do you like about this one, Bobby?
I actually like Chicago in this game. At home, over Carolina. Give me Chicago to win at home, to cover that, cover the spread, 3.5 points, and give me the under. I have it sitting at 38.5. I don't think neither one of these teams are going to score very well. Give me Chicago.
All right. So I think I'm going to go the opposite on that one. On this end, I actually have FanDuel, FanDuel has 3 points that one for Carolina. I actually like Carolina to go into Chicago to win that one.
All right.
So obviously if they win that one, they're going to hit the money line, and I like them also hitting the under at 38.5.
We're good on that.
38.5. I just got a feeling that it's just going to be one of those things where Bryce Young's going to kind of get his shit together. It's not a whole lot that Chicago's working with either right now. Both teams are pretty lackluster. You know, Chicago has a chance to get their number 1 and number 2 overall pick this year.
They could. So, but Herbert and Fields, I forgot about Herbert being able to come back this week.
Khalil Herbert?
Too. Yeah, he could potentially come back this week too. But as far as fantasy goes this week, Thielen is by far Carolina's number 1 option. He's got 62 receptions after 8 games. I mean, he's on a pace to put up 120 receptions this year, easy.
Probably.
And
62 with what, 5 yards a catch?
Yeah, I mean, he might not break 1,000 yards, but he's got a lot of catches on the board if you're in a PPR league for sure. So give me Thielen.
That'll get it done. All right, now if you also want to, this is probably only parlay. This is a smoking token primetime parlay. I'm going to give you 2 options here for this one here, just to give you a little reason to watch this game. So I got the Panthers money line, Chuba Hubbard, anytime touchdown score, and Jonathan Mingo over 34.5 yards receiving. That's coming at plus 647. If all 3 of those hit, $100 bet pays you out 647. The other one that I actually like a little bit better is actually Panthers money line. Hubbard still gets in that end zone, but Cole Kmet for the Bears going over 37.5 yards receiving. That's paying out at plus 620. So $100 pays you out at 620. So if you want to throw a little juice on there to give yourself a reason to watch that game, that's kind of a nice juicy one. Gives you a little bit of juice in the action. Not too much risk. Not anything too unforeseen to possibly happen. So that's kind of where I would lean on that one there.
I like both of those.
All right. So then next up, we've got the Colts. We got another Germany game. Munich, Germany. Colts and Patriots.
One in Germany?
Yes, it's Colts and Patriots. This is started another 8:30 kickoff, I think, our time.
Okay.
So we got the Colts and Patriots here. I have them through FanDuel at 1.5 here is the Colts' favorite.
1.5.
The Colts are favored at 1.5. I like the Colts on this one. Obviously, you didn't hit the money line. And I actually like the over at 43.5 on that one, Bobby.
Okay, you like the over in this one?
Yes.
I like the under. I have it at 43, but again, neither one of these. I mean, both of these teams could go in there and just have a shootout for Germany. I don't see it, but give me that under 43.
Yeah, that's kind of going either way. Who do you like fantasy-wise on that one?
Give me Isaiah McKenzie, because if Downs is the rookie
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs, if he's out this week, McKenzie slides up into that slot spot.
Okay.
Or even, McKenzie would slide up because Alex Pierce would slide up into the second.
Right.
Number 2.
Yep.
So give him McKenzie. He actually had a pretty good game after Downs went down last week.
Okay. So. All right. That sounds like a good sneaky pick there for your daily fantasy. All right. So next up, we got the Niners and Jaguars. Niners and Jaguars. Who do you like in that one, Bobby?
I like the Niners to get this one done. They've lost 3 in a row. I don't think it's going to be 4. Give me the money, the spread, and the under as well in this one.
You know what? We're in total agreement on that one. I don't see the Niners losing 4 in a row, especially coming off a bye. Kyle Shanahan's going to have one dialed up for the Jacksonville Jaguars there. The Jaguars have been on a roll, but I think the Niners are going to get off the snide, get themselves, especially with the Seahawks coming off and losing last week too as well. Them keeping pace. I see them doing the same thing, so we're in total agreement on that one there.
I like that.
Yep, total agreement.
Give me Evan Ingram as far as fantasy goes. He actually leads Jacksonville in receptions by a wide margin. It surprised me.
He's Mr. Reliable. He's Mr. Reliable.
So Evan Ingram, he has 0 touchdowns this year, so it very well could happen.
It could be that he's due this week. We're at that halfway mark. He's got to get in the end zone at some point. So I like that. All right. So then next up we have the Saints and Vikings. Saints and Vikings. Who do you like in that one, Bobby?
Oh man, I so want to believe in Minnesota and Dobbs in this one. I really do. Just because it would be a hell of a story.
Oh, it would be a great story.
They're currently in a playoff position.
Oh,
They'd be the number 7 seed right now.
The Vikings are surprisingly charging.
I think the Saints go in there and stop it this week, at least for this week. I think the Saints win, cover the spread, and I like the over in this.
Who does FanDuel have on that for spread-wise?
I have 2.5. What is...
oh, yeah, let me DraftKings. I'm sorry, DraftKings.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, yep. So that's what FanDuel has. Same thing at 2.5. I'm in agreement with you. I like the Saints. The Saints are kind of rolling right now. The defense is doing really well. I think Josh Dobbs, he's got it. I like him. He's doing some awesome things. Won a game not knowing who half his receivers' names were last week. But yeah, I think it's going to be hard pressed for him to go ahead and put a victory against these Saints. They're kind of charging right now.
What do you like for the over/under?
Oh, the under I have at 41. I like the under on that one.
You like the under?
Yeah, I like the under on that one. You like the over? Yeah, I like the under. Although the Saints have surprisingly been scoring more points lately in the last couple of weeks than what I thought they would. But Minnesota's been playing some sneaky good defense lately too as well. So I kind of like. I'm leaning on the under.
I give me the under or the over in that one. But as far as fantasy goes, Taysom Hill, give me the Swiss screwdriver or the Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife right now. Like the guy's throwing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, running for touchdowns. Like Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah, I think I heard a stat last week. I said there was only 2 other players that have thrown for 10 touchdowns, caught 10 touchdowns, and ran for 10 touchdowns. Yep. One of them was Red Grange.
Yeah, that one's lost.
Well, so once you start getting in the category of Red Grange, you're in rarefied air right there. I can't even remember who the other name was, but you know who it was? Frank Gifford.
Really?
Frank Gifford. Yes, Frank Gifford and Red Grange. So you're in the company with Frank Gifford and Red Grange. You're doing some throwback football shit right there. I'll give you that one there. All right. So who do you like? You said you Taysom Hill for the fantasy-wise. All right. So next up, we got Titans and Bucs. Titans and Bucs. That one's down in Tampa Bay. Who do you like on that one?
I like Tampa Bay in this one. I think Tampa gets it done at home against Tennessee. Levis is still starting. I like the over in this one as well. So Tampa covers that -1 point. Money line over 38.5.
All right. So I like Tampa to actually win this one, cover that one as well at the 1.5. I think they got a veteran defense. They're going to give Will Levis, a rookie quarterback, some trouble there. Obviously, they're going to hit the money line, but I like the under on that one at 38.5. I just kind of feel the one thing that I have an issue with Tampa Bay is because they're too Baker dependent because they cannot run the ball.
No, they
can't. And that is the hard part about it. And Tennessee's strength is going to be running the ball, airing that out a little bit, but will they be able to run the ball on a defense, especially if Vita Vea is back in the lineup this week? So I like the under on that one. What do you think fantasy-wise?
Give me Cade Otton. He's coming on for Tampa Bay.
Yes, he has.
He has definitely stepped this game up in the last couple of weeks.
I tried to pick him up off the streets of the fantasy league.
If he's available, yes, get him.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right, next up we're going on to the Browns and Ravens, little AFC North action. Browns and Ravens. I got the Ravens favored by 6 points at home in that one.
I do as well. So what do you think?
I like the Ravens to cover. They've been rolling.
You like the Ravens to cover?
Yeah, I like the Ravens. You know what? Because half of the games that I've been missing on the spread, I've been hitting the money line, but I've been trying to cover those big spreads.
Right, the big
with
ones.
That, and so I'm like, you know what? At this point here, the Ravens haven't shown me any slowing down whatsoever right now. They always match up against the Browns well, so I like them to cover that. 6 points hit the money line. And I like the over to hit that one at 38
like
and a half. Both defenses are really good, but defensive touchdown, special teams touchdown here or there, I can get that over really easily.
I actually think this one will be a close one, so I like Cleveland to cover the 6 points, but the Baltimore still ultimately pulls it out. And the under, because it's going to be one of those nasty AFC games.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. But I thought 38 and a half points, that wasn't a whole lot. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give that a go on the over on that one. Because I got a lot of unders this week, because the unders have been hitting like a mother this whole season.
They have. They really have.
Big time. Who do you like fantasy-wise?
Njoku. He caught a touchdown last week. I think he might finally be getting over his facial burns that he had.
Deshaun Watson's back.
Give me Njoku.
All right. Okay, so then next up we got the Texans and the Bengals. The Texans, what a win last week against those Bucs.
It was.
C.J. Stroud, man.
46 seconds left, 79 yards. What
C.J. Stroud, he's showing he's the truth, baby. See, the Houston Texans have their quarterback, I think, for the next 10 years.
I read an article today that was trying to make a pitch for him being the NFL MVP.
Let's not go crazy. But, everybody's got to have something to write this time of year.
Right. I mean, it was a decent enough argument. They made a decent enough case if you went by NFL MVP, just that made a team that much better.
Right.
But that takes away from DeMeco Ryans, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that receiving core they had, man, Tank Dell.
I'll tell you what.
Tank Dell.
Nico Collins.
But Nico's been there doing it, but they struck gold at Tank Dell, man.
Yes,
he has definitely been getting it done.
And we had a Robert Woods sighting last week.
I know. Yeah, he's going to eventually pop his head out of the hole every now and then. So, who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I like Houston to cover the 6.5 points in Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati win, but Houston's covers that 6.5, and I like the over to hit in this one.
All right, we're in total agreement on this game completely, except for the fact that I like the under on this one.
Okay,
and I had the under at 47, so I just like the under. I can see this kind of being a little knockdown, drag out, like them kind of going back and forth on that, because Houston's playing some sneaky good defense. Didn't think about it last week because Baker lit him the hell up, and Joe Burrow's he's hitting his stride here. But I'm kind of sticking on the under on that one. I just kind of see it being a game. Weather, too, let's kind of keep an eye on that weather-wise, because since it can get a little windy up there, both teams might not be able to air it out.
Yeah, they might just have to run it, and Houston has not been able to run it.
No, they have not been able to run.
Because you could be onto something there.
Yeah, so
this one, this fantasy pick is dependent on, really, if Jamar Chase is out this week, I think Boyd will step up and have a big game.
Yeah.
If Chase plays, who knows?
Boyd still had a good week last week. I had to pick him up on,
which means he might disappear. This week.
Which I mean that's usually Boyd's MO. Because he actually showed his head last week. Didn't he get in the end zone? I think too.
He did last week. His first touchdown in 5 weeks.
Because I picked him. I had to throw him in off of injury and waiver. I mean bye week dependent fantasy wise. I picked him up off the streets and he actually came through for me.
Didn't you just drop him again?
Yeah. Because I already know what he does. I've been watching the fantasy. I know his MO, man. He's got his touchdown for the next 3-4 weeks.
Good for the next couple
to get him out of here. All right, so you got Tyler Boyd on that one?
Give me Tyler Boyd.
All right, so next up we got a classic matchup. Two of the most classic uniforms in the NFL, the Packers and Steelers up there in Pittsburgh, baby.
Do you
up in Pittsburgh.
They'll wear the ugly uniforms like the?
I don't think. Not in this matchup.
The Packers ugly versus the.
You know what? That would be sweet if they did. That would be sweet. That's two of the ugliest throwbacks of all time. The Acme Packers and the Bumblebee Steelers.
It's bad.
Oh, that would be bad. But you know what? I don't think they're going to go that route this one here. This game up in Pittsburgh I got 3-point favorites by the Steelers. I don't think the Packers last week, you called that one, man. If I had to really process that bet, Brett Rippon being in the game, like Brett Rippon,
they released him.
I know. I mean, what is he going to do? He showed that he is not an NFL quarterback. So I mean, they just signed Carson Wentz. So he's out of there. I mean, so if I had known that one. It's hard for me to judge the Packers win off of that performance last week.
That's why I've got Pittsburgh all over.
Yeah. With Pittsburgh losing that tough one last week, winning the tough one last week, I'd like them to go ahead and carry that one out at home. So I like them as a 3-point favorite, obviously hitting the money line. And then the over-under's at 38.5. I like the under on that one.
I like the under. I've got it at 39, but I like the under as well.
So I think we're a clean sweep across the board on that one. All right. So who do you like fantasy-wise?
I like Johnson again. He got on the board for the first time in 22 games last week.
Yes, he did.
And with the Pickens drama going on right now, maybe Tomlin sends him a lesson and just feeds Johnson. Say, hey, this is a guy not bitching, didn't bitch for the whole 22 games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what? Let's see what happens. I mean, that's not a bad pick there. Not a bad pick at all. All right, so next up we got the Cardinals and the Falcons. These are two dumpster fire quarterback situations.
Yeah, this is
two dumpster fire quarterback situations. Falcons lost a tough one last week. They lost a tough one against Minnesota.
They did.
They lost.
That's it. Dobbs magic.
Made Artie Smith cut off his mustache. He went back to babyface Artie Smith.
Did.
Yeah, he cut the mustache off after that one. Yes, he did. All right, so who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I think Atlanta goes into Arizona. I like Tommy Tuna. I told you he was terrible.
Yeah.
Tune. I know Taylor Tune or whatever.
Yeah, well, who cares? Kyler Murray's on his way back. We'll forget his name and never to be heard of again here soon.
He's supposed to play this week, I think, Kyler Murray. But, I mean, it's still Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anybody on the team likes him anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. We'll have to see how that goes there. I'm still not sold on John Gannon or Steve Gannon. I can remember the name of the new coach down there.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on him yet.
So, give me Atlanta to win, cover, and I like the under in this one.
You like the under on that one?
Yeah.
See, I like the over in this one. I like the over in this one. This is one of those I can see being a sloppy game with some defensive and special teams touchdowns. And that's kind of my rule on that one. 43.5 points, I can see that one end up kind of shooting over. Atlanta, maybe even running the ball all over. Hopefully Drake London is actually back healthy this week.
Hopefully.
Taylor Heineke can find them and get that offense opening up a little bit for Atlanta. But I like the over on that one. So what do you think fantasy-wise?
I like Heineke in this one, particularly because if they run the ball, they could set up an actual play action and use a wide receiver maybe.
And he can actually get him the ball.
Yeah, he can actually throw the ball to him.
He can actually get him the
give
ball.
me Heineke in this one. He'll be cheap. You know what he is.
All right. So then next up, we've got the Lions and Chargers up in L.A. Lions coming off a bye this week.
I'm actually really excited about this game. I think the Lions go in and show everybody who they really are this week and dominate the Chargers.
You know what? I like that one too as well. I think I'm right along with you. So what do you have through DraftKings spread-wise?
I've got 3 points.
Okay, same thing with
So I
FanDuel.
think Detroit covers that. Goes in this where are the Chargers even playing right now? LA.
SoFi. Yep.
Yeah.
So SoFi in
goes
LA.
into LA and beats the Chargers, and I like the over to hit in this one.
Okay. I think we're
48.5.
We're in total agreement on that one. Yep, so I got 3 points through FanDuel. I like the over, obviously money line, at 48.5, the same thing they had for the over-under through FanDuel. So we're in complete agreement on that one. Who do you like fantasy-wise?
In this one, you're going to have to spend for it this week, but get St. Brown. He's actually going to be healthy for the first time since week 1. Like, that bye week has definitely helped him.
Oh, yeah, and he's a stud, man.
And he is ready to – he has not had a great game since week – he's had good games.
And then if David Montgomery's coming back too as well, and the running backs and the running game's full in force, yeah.
Detroit's going to click this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I like that pick. So I said we're in total agreement on that one.
Chargers are not playing the Jets.
Yeah, they're not playing the Jets, and Brandon Staley, we see what he does. So, yeah, we go from there. All right, so the next up, let's move along. We got the Giants and Cowboys down in Big D. This is the ugly spread of the week. This is the ugly spread of the week. 16 and a half. Cowboys are favored 16 and a half. And we got what? Danny DeVito's long-lost nephew.
Tommy DeVito.
Danny DeVito's long-lost nephew, quarterbacking for the Giants right now because no Tyrod Taylor,
he's
Daniel
on
Jones.
IR right now, Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, yeah, Tyrod Taylor's gone. Daniel Jones is gone. He's the only person that knows the playbook right now. They've got no hope coming up.
They might not win a game.
Ordinarily, I would never, ever, ever want to take a team covering 16.5 points right there. But I would be a fool to feel like Tommy DeVito is going to show me anything against the Cowboys defense, anything different. So I hesitantly am going to go ahead and take the Cowboys to cover.
There's already been a 40-0 score. We've already got in New York, so they're going to Dallas this time. No.
Oh yeah, I mean, so I'm hesitantly going to go ahead and say they're going to cover that game off of like what the Giants have looked like this whole season. Obviously, Cowboys to go ahead and hit that money line, and then I like the over at 38.5. Just off of the Cowboys' offense and special teams and defense alone on what they're going to do against the Giants.
We are agreement all the way across the board. So as far as fantasy goes in this game, Pollard's got to get something going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got to get something going.
He's got to get something going. So Dallas has got to get him going. Give me Pollard in this game.
All right, so next up, we're getting close to the end of the slate here. We've got the Seahawks versus the Commanders. In Seattle. Washington has traded off some pieces here on their defense and everything. They actually still put up a good fight and won last week.
They did.
And won in New England. In New England. They won last week. So let's see what happens. Maybe the boys are on alert. The jobs are being up for sale.
Yeah, but Seattle got their faces kicked in last week.
Did.
And they're going to be very, very
They're going to be full of piss and vinegar up there.
So I like Seattle to cover this 6 points.
Okay, I have 6 points as well.
And the over to hit in this one because both teams are. I mean, neither defense is great, and both teams can put up points. So.
You know what? I am in total agreement on everything in this game except I chose the under.
You like
the only reason why is because I have Geno Smith on my fantasy team right now, and he has been very underwhelming as far as he's up there. I think tops in the league with interceptions right now for the season.
It's not good.
And most of his interceptions have actually come in the red zone. And then look, if you look at DK Metcalf's stats, they're quite underwhelming, man. They
are because he's on my fantasy roster, and it sucks.
and it's been awful. So right now, I'm kind of leaning towards the under on that end because it's 45.5 points. Doesn't mean they can't put up some points, but that's still 23-20. That's still that's still 23-20. So that's the only reason why I kind of led on the under on that aspect for that game.
Okay,
there.
As far as fantasy goes, it's Geno Smith.
Let's go, Geno. I need it, baby. I
like Geno to get it done against the Washington's defense, especially because they traded off some pieces. Washington's going to have no pass rush.
Yeah, let's go.
So
baby.
hopefully Geno can actually get it corrected and throw a touchdown to DK Metcalf and Jigba Smith, like something. Get it done, Geno.
Well, my fantasy team will thank you. My fantasy team will thank you this week. All right, so we coming up to the Sunday night game here. Yep. Sunday night, we got the Jets and the New Life Raiders. New Life Raiders.
I know it's the Jets, and they expected Aaron Rodgers, so they put him in all these primetime games. You think the NFL is regretting that right now?
You know what?
Because it's New York.
It's still New York. So you're still New York, and Aaron Rodgers still showing his head down there on the sidelines, throwing passes and drop backs and all that shit like that. So as long as that's going on, they still got something to talk about.
And this one's in Vegas.
Yes, it's in Vegas. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're going to go ahead and, they're not going to regret that too much on that aspect for this game here. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I was pleasantly surprised last week that the Raiders came out and dominated like they did. You called that one. Yes. You said Antonio Pierce was going to change or do something to that team, and obviously it happened.
When you look at records of teams that don't that have a fired coach, when that first game after that coach has been fired, everybody expects, because typically when a coach gets fired during the season, everybody hates that motherfucker in the building for the most part. They're not sad to see him go when that old coach leaves. So most of the time they're reinvigorated to show everybody we're gonna play some ball to show that motherfucker sucked, not us.
You could tell Adams hated McDaniels.
All of them did, dude. They said did you see the whole team smoking cigars in the locker room after the game? Did not see that. Oh my god! You go back and look up the Raiders locker room after that game. I'd say Max Crosby led the charge where he bought stogies. Yeah, it was about 30 guys, and they were like, "Are there no smoking laws inside that locker room?" Because man, they had that bad boy going. With that being said, in that game, it's 1 point of what they have the Jets favored with. That defense for the Jets is so good.
It is.
The only reason why they really got out of that game was because that punt return touchdown they gave away, and they just couldn't really block or stop anybody on the Chargers' offensive line. They're going to have a problem with Max Crosby this week, but I still think with that game being close by, the Jets can find a way to pull this one out. Okay. They're still battling for that Aaron Rodgers life right there. Raiders, they got newfound life, and they love to play for Antonio Pierce. But I still like the Jets to go ahead. I don't want to get caught up in the new hype of all these newfound Raiders. So I'm going to go with the Jets actually to go ahead and win that one, cover the 1 point, and then I was hit the money line. And I like the under at 36.5.
Yeah, we're in agreement on the under, but I think Vegas gets it done just because they're at home. And the Jets offense is just so fucking terrible.
It's bad. It really is. But, you never know what you're going to see with these Raiders here, because that defense with the Jets can create problems.
You're right.
Because you got to think, every quarterback, what did they have Herbert with last week? Herbert, would he even throw for 130 yards, I think, last week?
Oh, yeah, the whole team only put up like 189.
That's what I'm saying. So you got Adam O'Connell now against that Jets defense. Yeah. So that's the only thing that kind of had me swing the other, because I was with you. I actually was leaning towards the Raiders. I almost got caught. I was like, man, these Raiders, they so heavy. Josh McDaniels go. But then I started thinking, like, man, you got this young rookie quarterback going against that defense.
The only reason I picked that is because they're at home.
Yeah.
But as far as fantasy goes, I'm going to say it again. You spend the money for the Jets defense.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, they're putting up points.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because usually you get
they even had 5 sacks in the loss.
Oh yeah,
they got.
Yeah, they're going to get to the quarterback. So. They're going to get some interceptions. That whole nine. I mean, they might even take something to the house. Absolutely. All right, so we got the last game of the week here on the slate here. We've got the Broncos at the Bills.
Two desperate teams.
Yes, we do. Two very desperate teams. The Bills probably more desperate than Denver, because Denver pretty much knows where they're at.
They're not good.
Yeah, they know where they're at, and they're not competing to really do anything of any significance. But the Bills, this is a window that is closing fast.
If they lose this week, I mean, you're a game and a half behind Miami now.
Oh, yeah.
you beaten them, you do have the win in your pocket.
Right, but now you still got to go to
Yeah,
Miami
you still
too
gotta
later
go
in
to
the year.
Miami.
So yeah, we'll see. But you know what? Like, so that's 7.5. Did you have 7.5 on
I
that
have
one?
7.5 as
All right,
well.
who do you like?
I like Denver to cover this 7.5, but I like the Bills to ultimately win this game, and I like the over 47.
Okay. All right, so we're in agreement with the over. I like the Bills to win, but I also like the Bills to cover.
Okay,
I actually
you
have a
like
feeling that
Bills
the
to cover
Bills
this
are going to boat race them in this
Okay.
game. I do have a feeling the Bills are going to boat race them. They're actually going to be in an act of desperation right now. You know, let's see if we get
They
a
are.
let's see if
They
let's see if
cannot
we,
afford to lose this game.
and let's see if we get a Leonard Fournette sighting. Let's see what happens
Oh,
there.
have they activated them off?
I haven't seen it yet, but
Okay.
you know what? There's an active desperation going from this team. And at some point, they signed him. They've got to use him at some point.
Latavius Murray's not.
Yeah,
doing
Latavius
it,
Murray is here for
Cook's
whatever
not
reason.
doing
For
it,
that, and I don't know why they don't like James Cook. I don't know. I remember when he fumbled his very first carry last year.
Right.
I don't know if Josh McDermott never got over that or what, but he's averaging like 5 yards a carry.
He's
but
the best running back.
But for whatever reason, they just do not like him. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But that covers his slate this week.
Yep.
And who do you like fantasy wise?
Give me Judy. Judy actually caught a touchdown pass before they went on the bye. He got 7 targets. He only caught 2 balls that day, but 7 targets. Judy, he's probably back healthy now, fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to turn it on for the second half of the season.
All right. Well, that covers it. Week 10 here. We're at the halfway point, brother. Halfway point. It's been a ride, man. It has been a ride. You know what? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep.
Make sure you comment down in the comment section. If you like what you see or you want to see something different out of us, go ahead and comment on that, like and subscribe on that Facebook page, Bets and Buds. We're the Buds helping you cast the bets. We want to bring that action to you every week, all season long here. Thanks again. Shout out to True on the track to bless us with that beat. We've been enjoying this party and this wild ride. We're out. Peace.
Ding that bell for notifications.
Hell yeah, baby.
See you next week.